If not us, then who? If not now, then when? That's what some local dads said a few years ago after the Sandy Hook school shooting that left 28 dead. Could the same thing happen here? Well, these dads say they have a plan to keep your children safe.
The images no one can forget. A shooting rampage in a small Connecticut town. A gunman kills 28 people, including 20 children, inside the Sandy Hook Elementary School.
If it could happen in a bucolic little town like Sandy Hook, it could happen where you live.
Ben Powers is a local dad and a commercial pilot with training to protect the cockpit from terrorists.
And I thought, could we apply that program to school safety?
Look what they came up with. That's Pete Rashidi and Jeff Thompson, both automotive engineers who, along with Ben, came up with this new school security system. Bulletproof vest, equipped to fight off a gunman in your child's school.
We decided that maybe it was our time to step up and try to do something about it.
We brought a fresh set of eyes into the mix, not being from the security, quote-unquote, space and industry.
As dads, we approached it such that, well, what would we want in the schools for our children?
It's all about response time. Once a gunman starts shooting and the call for help goes out, children can be in the line of fire anywhere from 6 to 12 minutes on average before police arrive. These dads say they have a solution that can be installed inside the school for trained school personnel. So how does the system work?
You'd have an access card, and then I would access the bio enclosure that accesses the iris scanner.
Thank you. You have been identified.
That unlocks the door. I would then access the vault, pull out the vest. At the same time, a two-way hands-free call goes out to 911. Just that quickly, I don the vest. I would close the vault, and I could be in the hall addressing the threat very quickly.
Now, what's on your vest?
So we have a defensive tool. It could be a pistol, it could be a taser, pepper spray, radio for internal communications, a knife and a flashlight. We have in development live streaming video and asset tracking, and then another very important component is a individual first aid kit so that at that moment I can apply trauma care to a wounded person.
In their system, there are also trauma kits that can be installed throughout the school or a business.
We also have other tourniquets that are elastic. These are really good because sometimes, unfortunately, our victims are very small. These are clotting agents, so it's another way to stop the bleeding.
Active shooter. I can see one wounded.
Those who are allowed access to the Templar life safety system must go through background checks, a weeks-long training that meets police academy standards.
If they're not prepared for what they may see, then they may freeze.
This former Brighton police chief is backing this new form of defense.
The police can't be everywhere at the same time. Yes.
Why do you feel that this is safe? Because some people might say, wait, you're bringing guns into the school.
Right, but you're limiting the access to those weapons. It's a very controlled system.
So I was in a meeting with law enforcement as well as school administrator, and the law enforcement individual looked over at the administrator and said, ultimately as a superintendent, you own the problem until we arrive. What are you going to do? And if that doesn't put you back in your seat, I don't know what does.
I'm told there are school districts in the Metro Detroit area considering the system. At this point, they don't want to publicize which districts. Costs could be anywhere from $100 grand for a couple units in one school to a 7-figure cost for an entire district. I'm Karen Drew, Local 4 Defenders.